It is time for medical coverage now. We're joined by Mercy Dr. Barbara Bumberry this morning. Dr. Bumberry, thanks for being here. And we are right here in the holiday season, right in the middle of the thing here. And we are talking about how to make healthy choices for food and beverage for Christmas parties.
Right.
So what are some of the, maybe some of the temptations, if you will, that folks will have to contend with at their holiday party that might not be the best?
Okay. A big one is cheese. Cheese typically is a high-fat, low-fiber diet, so if you eat too much of it, it can be a little constipating.
Ooh.
So ways to get around that, eat it with some whole grain crackers or add some high-fiber foods like nuts or high-fiber fruits, bananas, oranges, apples, things like that. Also, if you're lactose intolerant, then you may have a little trouble, especially with softer cheeses like ricotta, feta cheese. So if you eat more aged cheese, cheddar, Gouda, those tend to be lower or have no lactose in them, so a little bit better tolerated. And then if you're on a heart diet, you have to be careful of the salt content. Cheeses like goat cheese or mozzarella, fresh mozzarella tend to be lower in sodium content, so those are a little bit safer.
Yeah, well, cheese is a favorite of a lot of people. My pitfall is going to be sweets.
Yeah.
Those are tough to avoid around this time.
Sure, it's hard to not indulge, but there's some things to watch out for. If you eat a lot of sweets in a short period of time, it causes your blood sugar to go up quickly, and then it drops quickly, and that can leave you feeling really sluggish and just not feeling very good. So if you add some protein to it, add a handful of nuts to your plate, or have a glass of milk with it, that'll help slow down those sugar swings. And then portion control. Maybe instead of a whole piece of pie or cake, eat half of one. Instead of 3 or 4 cookies, eat a couple of cookies.
Pace yourself, see how you feel. Moderation.
Exactly.
Speaking of moderation, alcohol, that's certainly something that a lot of people enjoy around the holiday season.
Right. So especially for older adults, it doesn't take much to affect them. So we really recommend limiting yourself if you're going to go to a party to 1 drink. With older adults, it could leave them feeling unbalanced the next day. They can feel really tired or have a headache. So limiting yourself. Also consider drinking non-alcoholic beer or mocktails that have no alcohol. Just have to be careful that some of those have a high sugar content. And make sure you're drinking a lot of water throughout the day, because if you're dehydrated, that's going to accentuate the effects of the alcohol.
A hangover, if you will. Nobody wants one of those around the holidays, for sure, especially with the in-laws around. All right, and then the last thing is a staple of the holiday season, eggnog.
Of course, you can't get through the holidays without eggnog.
Hard to.
Eggnog is a very rich, creamy beverage. So if you are sensitive to dairy, it can cause a lot of GI upset. So if you get the kind that's a light version, or if you get one that has a plant base, then it's going to be a little bit easier on the GI tract. Also, you want to make sure they don't use raw eggs. You want to make sure it's pasteurized. Otherwise, you're at risk of something like salmonella, which can cause a nasty GI infection.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Some of this stuff just sounds bad. It makes me just want to eat a salad for Christmas now. Here we are. Might not be a bad idea, I guess. Balance is what we need. Dr. Barbara Bumberry joining us. We'll post all of these tips for you online that we covered here in the last couple of minutes. Lots of good information for you to follow this holiday season. Dr. Bumberry, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Jen, over to you.
Coming up next here on Daybreak, we have one last look at your full forecast, and a police chief and sergeant in Branson resigned in the middle of an internal investigation. We explain what we know so far and when a new police chief will be announced. The time now, 6:43.